The Anachronauts. They travel through time by downloading history to their brains and archive the past in order to save the future. With their trusty brain download computer, the Epic Traversier, they randomly visit the past year after year. Join them as they embark on their next adventure. Prepare yourself for anachronology.
There's going to be yeah, I wonder what the breakthroughs of science are going to be from 1995. If we have JavaScript to go by, let's see how much further we got to go.
Yeah, from the temporal download that we received, for one, all this is way over my head. So we're going to do our best to pretend we know what we're talking about, and we're going to dive in to some science. So let's get at it. Here is some of the big scientific events that happened in the year 1995. And we're going to start out in freaking outer space. Let's talk about the discovery of the first exoplanet, 51 Pegasi B. Astronomers, I am saying it right, Michael Mayer and Dieter Zuelas discovered the first exoplanet orbiting a sun-like star, marking the beginning of exoplanetary science. So I guess big breakthrough. Way to go, guys! Finding that the exoplanet. I'm not really sure. I guess that's a thing. I mean, can we go check out and visit these exoplanets?
Dude, I want
far to reach.
That whatever. Like, I wonder did they get this from like one of was it Challenger, whatever the hell went to is still going out into space, or was there just a Hubble type scale telescope where they're just taking photos out there? But yeah, I mean, for them to figure out wherever the hell this thing is, that they're like, hey, this thing is a, what do they call it? A what kind of planet? Just a
exoplanet.
So it's just an exoplanet. Okay, so it doesn't say there it has potential for life or water. But it is just a body that is orbiting another star. Okay, that makes me feel a little better, where they weren't like, hey, this thing has liquid breathable oxygen and liquid water. They're just like, here's a big thing. Yeah, here's a big thing around a star.
It's a big thing, guys. And like, I mean, I think about those kinds of jobs, and it just baffles me to be sitting there, checking it through this super telescope, and then just being like, we found it, guys, we found it. And then there's probably plenty of duds, and then there are probably plenty of breakthroughs. So congratulations, guys, on finding the first exoplanet in 95. Way to go. Way to go. Let's talk a little bit of tech. This is also way over my head.
Whoa.
This is the erbium doped fiber amplifier, the EDFA, for telecommunications, developed used for EDFA significantly improved fiber optic communication systems, enhancing data transmission over long distances. So I guess the way to say this is this had to walk so that this guy could run and play video games not wearing pants and eating junk food at incredibly high speeds with fiber networks in his home.
This lag is fucking terrible.
And that's just it, So that's a pretty big innovation, because obviously, you come to today at fiber, everybody's pushing fiber, cable companies are pushing fiber, everything from like fiber cabling to sending information. So I guess getting this whole improvement of fiber optic communication was a big thumbs up in 95 to push us forward.
So I wonder, whatever like on that graph, how there was signal symbol, nothing which I understand. But whatever, however good this is in 95, like I said, I mean, I still get things in the mail. It's like, get fiber from us instead of fiber from these guys. So I wonder how good it is now. Like whatever this fiber is then, I wonder what the graph looks like now. You know what I mean?
That's so true. I'm sure it's a drastic difference. I mean, especially in a day and age where, like you're saying, cable companies are toting upwards to 2 terabytes pushing through a fiber line. So, I mean, that's pretty beefy to say, like, I'm going to rock this thing back and forth. I can have heavy transfer pushing stuff at great speed. I mean, we have come a long way, and it probably a short amount of time too, because really from 95 to now, it's probably light years faster than it was in 95. Sticking on this whole kind of, I guess, telecommunications thing, another big introduction, another graph as well, is the introduction of Wi-Fi. And it's, of course, this IEEE 809.11 standard. I'm sure everybody knows what that is. The establishment of that standard laid the groundwork for Wi-Fi technology to come, which would later transform wireless communication. So again, this had to walk so this guy could run and just play, Counter-Strike in the fucking woods with his friends, so that you could basically be hooked up anywhere to the internet, have amazing speeds, and you just don't have to worry about any kind of latency.
I have seen like how I've gotten my kids to do something or whatever little funny ha-has on the internet. Dude, you take away the router password or you block the
Oh,
Wi-Fi to the house, homie. I mean, you and I don't have kids, so we couldn't like see this happen
the
in real
kiss
time.
of death for
But
a
dude,
kid,
could you
man.
like you could just for you cut that Wi-Fi cord and just watch the
Wow.
bedlam and watch it unfold, man. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because you think about it, it's like either it's like a phone that can switch over to kind of like a cellular network, but you're right, most things connected in a household, even an iPad that doesn't have a cellular
Mhm.
service, you are dead in the water to hit the internet if that Wi-Fi is down. I it's almost the equivalent of my dad grounding me and taking my PlayStation.
Right.
It's like you son of a bitch. Now
That's
it's just
all
like,
I had.
yeah, turn it off, baby. It's the key to the internet. But yeah, I mean, it had to start somewhere. It started in 95. All right, let's go on to God, all about the discoveries in 95. The discovery of prions as infectious agents.
Oh my god.
Stanley B. Prusner's research on prions, infectious proteins, won him the Nobel Peace Prize in 1997 with his 95 research, further confirming their role in disease like mad cow disease. And obviously, again, I have no fucking clue what this means, but way to go, guys. Hells yeah. Let's get that science innovation. And I guess to break it down for stupid people, I am a prion. I want your brain. I thought AI producer pulled this off the internet. This is my level of understanding it. Hells yeah. So let's get after those prions, dude.
The only other time I remember hearing prion, it was something, maybe it was because it was shortly after 1995 when this was discovered. It
Yeah.
was, apparently it's very bad when, you're a cannibal and you eat human brains specifically. Like,
Ooh,
I guess you can eat, like, some human muscles and shit and, like, not get that sick, but if you eat, I guess, human brain, you get prion disease, which, you get
ouch.
these screw worms that basically eat your
Horrible.
head from the inside out. So, this layman's
Okay.
term is from what I understand about being a cannibal and eating human brains, I understand this is a warning. Do not eat human brains
Yeah.
because you will get prion, and prions will then eat your brains.
That's what I'm saying. Unless you're Hannibal Lecter and you got like a hot frying pan, you're ready to kind of fricassee up that brain material and
Just
then,
don't do it.
saute it and eat it. You shouldn't be eating brains.
Yeah, just don't do
I
it.
am a prion. I want your brain. Moving on, I guess more about kind of science and discovery of viruses. We also had a big breakthrough in the human deficiency virus (HIV) with therapy. Breakthrough in therapy. The introduction of protease inhibitors significantly improved the effectiveness of the therapy for HIV. So this was a big leap and bounds. I love how AIDS is thank you, AI producer. You always find a way to lighten the mood and make it funny. Shout out to Team America. But yeah, so obviously they're saying, hey, we have a better way to do this kinds of therapy, reducing mortality rates, to making people say, Coach, I'll take 3.
I'll take 3 of them.
And Homeboy was probably right in line for that incredible therapy. There he is, the Magic Johnson, rocking his proud Lakers jersey. But yeah, and I mean, God, you flash forward to today, and I mean, I just now on television, there's like commercials for like things that can help your HIV. So
Dude, it used to be a death sentence, and
that's
who knew all it took was a bunch of money. As long as you had enough money to throw at
a shit
HIV,
ton of money,
you'll
guys.
be good. You'll be good.
Back on the space discovery train, brown dwarf discovery, the discovery of the first confirmed brown dwarf.
That's racist.
I know. Gliese 229b, advanced understanding of substellar objects and star formation. Now, listen, everybody's saying that this is their favorite brown dwarf. I disagree. Tony
That's
Collins is
yeah,
my favorite brown dwarf. So F you guys. OG brown dwarf right here.
from
There he is.
Seinfeld, the Bad
Yes, there
Santa.
he is, and in Bad Santa. But I guess that's interesting. You do hear about the brown dwarfs and how they're kind of a weird kind of anomaly floating out there in space. I'm not obviously skilled in the world of brown dwarfs, but sounds pretty cool.
I know that there is a sci-fi, I can't remember, if it's a book, I believe, or maybe it was a comic book series, something. It's called Red Dwarf.
Okay, I've heard Red Dwarf.
So
Yeah.
now Brown Dwarf is the TV Mexicana like telenovela of Red Dwarf. It is Brown Dwarf.
Why's it got to be a brown dwarf?
Yeah.
Back into the computer world, 1995 brought us the introduction of the USB standard. The Universal Serial Bus USB 1.0 standard was released, greatly simplifying connections between computers and peripheral devices. And boy, has it come a long way. I think they're up to like 3 or 4 now USB. But yeah, I mean, and obviously what sucked about it was every time a new one came out, fuck your old cable because that shit ain't working anymore. All
Dude,
the portage changes on computers. It's a fucking racket. Let's not lie that the growth of cable technology just is taxing to keep up with. It started here.
I read a interview or snippet of interview with a guy who invented the USB, and he wanted to make it. How many times have you gone for the cable and then you go to put it into the port and it's the wrong way around,
Oh
right? So there's only
more
one way.
times than I can count.
He wanted to make it like literally universal, so it didn't matter which way it was orientated. It would have cost too much money, like, to figure that out. Not his doing, but like
No shit.
the company he worked for when he was engineering it, and they were like, yeah, just do it this one way. Like, and he's like, that was my biggest regret is I didn't make it like universal. Like,
Yeah.
at least you
those
see
people.
the error of the way.
God damn it, dude. Yeah, exactly. Another big, I guess, in the science of sound, this was a huge innovation in 1995, the release of Dolby Digital Audio. The widespread adoption of Dolby Digital Audio technology revolutionized sound quality in movies and home entertainment. Definitely. I mean, from a movie standpoint, I think that it changed the game for sure. It set a high standard for it. And then once it started coming into like home theater systems, I mean, baller.
I gotta say, I did not splurge on like a really, really nice home theater like sound system, but man, the little bit of sound system that I have, it really is a game changer of enjoying the shit that you're watching.
is.
When you actually have some nice sound setup and not just like your TV speakers, when you actually have like a
I agree.
sub and some like some 2-to-1 or 3-to-1 or whatever, like the mapping of it is, man, it's really nice to
Yeah,
have good sound.
it's a game changer, and I think it's funny because like once you do this and then you sit and like
Oh, yeah.
watch a movie on your computer or something, it's just very lackluster. But if you have again just seen any movie really after 1995 till now, you've experienced Dolby Digital. It's a massive industry in post sound production that these people are just like placing things geographically in speakers, so you're getting an immersive experience in sound on top of a cool giant screen.
It's super noticeable. Nice sound is so noticeable.
And bad sound
Yeah.
is
Oh, yeah.
noticeable.
Oh,
We
yeah.
will
True.
say that
Very
too.
true.
Okay, another big, I guess, drop in 95, all about the standards of the formats in 95. The release of the MPEG-2 standard
Ah.
in 1995. The MPEG-2 standard for video compression was released, crucial for digital television, DVD video, and satellite TV broadcasting. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember we're taking it back to something we just talked about prior in the year in review. Obviously, the release of the DVD and early DVDs. That was the format you had to write your video
Mhm.
onto a DVD. Was an MPEG. MPEG 2. I think they moved up to MPEG 4. I mean,
Or
MPEG still exists today, but Here it is in its youngest form, the OG MPEG.
I know we've talked about sometimes using peer-to-peer networks like file sharing stuff and downloading. So when you go to download something pirated, and in the it would say like in the look for like an MPEG, it'll be like a good quality rip, and so it'll say like The Simpsons, season 3, whatever, and
Yeah.
it'll say MPEG, and it'll go and like the file will be finished downloading, and all of a sudden you see it's like an executable file, whatever. It's like, oh, son of a bitch, you could tell it's malware, but that was like a hallmark of like the quality of the MPEG. It was people would like put that in the title, so you'd be like, oh, they'll download this not knowing that it's malware. That's how juicy the MPEG was.
Oh, MPEG, you son of a bitch. 95 also brought us the formation of the Digital Library Initiative. The U.S. government's initiative to create digital libraries would later evolve into the broader concept of online access to digitized scholarly and cultural content. There it be. And can you imagine what these people that made this today would think of fucking Feet Finder? It would blow their collective minds. Absolutely.
Dude,
it doesn't even hail in comparison to Feet Finder. But hey, again, the kind of a theme here. This had to walk so Feet Finder could run, and you could see those feet after they ran.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I think like some libraries would have, would get like issues of Playboy. So it's very possible. Like Playboy is in the Digital Library Initiative somewhere.
Hey,
there
now.
must, you know what I mean? I just want it for the articles. There are articles in Playboy.
Yeah, dude, it's great writers came through Playboy. I just want to read. It's all for the reading. Moving on. What do we have here? Next one. Oh yeah, this is another just thing I don't understand. Advancement in robotics with the unmanned aerial vehicle UAV development. Significant advancements were made in UAV technology, particularly in autonomous and remote controlled capabilities, laying the groundwork for modern drones. So somebody figured this out, a way to kind of shoot GPS off the satellites, talk to drones, and we can fake that for dads everywhere getting drones stuck in their trees, like Joel McHale and his son here getting this fucking drone stuck in a tree.
Dude, is that really Joel McHale?
No, but he's the ringer for Joel McHale.
Yeah, he's straight up. I was like, that's so weird. Like, I wonder why Joel McHale photo. Like, it seems very un-Joel McHale like.
It is very un-Joel McHale.
Bring me Joel McHale lookalike to sell this drone. I need a bigger demographic of like yuppie looking rich white people to buy these drones.
So overall, I guess a lot of trends, a lot of firsts in 95, a lot of having to walk before others could run, a lot of technical innovation, science innovation, space innovation. That was science. 1995. So there we go. First category down. And as we like to do here on Anachronology, again, for our first time watchers and listeners, we like to do segments. Segments are fun. Our powerful overlords demand us to do, of course, segments. One of the segments we like to do, especially when we have science as a category, is a segment called Trust the Science, bro.
Trust the science.
So it's exactly as it sounds. We're going to talk science, specific sciences. And this one's very interesting. And I do feel it's right up our alley. This is going to be Poopology 101. It's going to be the science of poop, folks. We're going to talk about it. Everybody poops. Even if you're grossed out by it, you poop. You poop today, you're going to poop tomorrow. Why not learn a little bit more about your poop? So we hope you learned something here on this very first Poopology 101. Class is now starting. Let's move on to our first slide. Did you know that poop is mostly bacteria? 50 to 80% of your poop, excluding water, is actually bacteria that had been living in your intestines and was then ejected as food passed through. So that's pretty crazy, kind of creepy, but good. You're kind of flushing out the gross bacteria in your poop. You don't want that in your body.
I mean, if anything, it's being expelled out of us, and it doesn't have the most pleasantness of smells. So I'd assume there would be things like, bacteria or what have you in there. But what was the number? How much percent? 80%?
This is 50 to 80% of your poop, excluding the water in the poop, is actually bacteria. That's terrifying. Yeah,
I got to go on some sort of cleanse or something. I got to get rid of
damn. And then it says that many of the bacteria in poop are still alive. Okay, that's scary. But some are dead. Carcasses of species that bloomed as they fed on the indigestible plant matter you consumed, then died shortly afterwards. So you're just basically shitting out a bacteria graveyard.
It's like, you're what is it? You're
Jeez.
Oppenheimering, your I am become death. You are you are literally dropping bombs. Just
Dropping literal death bombs. That's crazy. On to the next fact that men and women poop differently. They poop differently because of the differences of men and women. The GI tracts work a little differently. These differences are so significant, in fact, that it says that this person could perform a colonoscopy and correctly guess the patient's sex without knowing it beforehand. So this like blindfolded person that was just like sticking their hands in somebody's ass was like, it's a male, right? Jesus
they're
Christ.
just driving they're driving that camera, the ass camera up there, and it's like
Yes.
probably like how many inches up before you can
Jesus
tell. It's like, do they
Christ.
take bets during colonoscopies? Like, how far do you think I could go before I can tell? How far?
Yeah,
How
right.
far? Any takers?
They
Any
got a
takers?
little kitty box just to put some cash in.
Right.
It says for starters, women have wider pelvises than men, as well as extra internal organs such as the uterus and the ovaries. Okay, that's a fact in the region. As a result, their colons hang a bit lower than
Huh.
men's and are a bit longer, on average by 10 centimeters. Men have a more rigid abdominal wall that helps push food through the GI tract more effectively. Go
Hmm.
men, taking beastly shit since the beginning of man.
Yeah, the dawn of
Cavemen were
mankind.
still just like, cavemen were shitting and then looking at it and then calling other cavemen over to marvel at it. So definitely, I get that the difference between a woman taking a shit and a man taking a shit, totally different. But I will tell you straight up, don't let the women fool you. They can drop serious damage in the bathroom. Do not give them a pass.
Dude, I dated this girl. This is actually, was this the first girl I lived? I think it was the first girl I lived with. And dude, there was one day she like came out of the bathroom and she like was like almost in tears. And, like
Wow.
she like got on the futon in our living room and she's like, I clogged the toilet. And I was like, oh man, we didn't have like a plunger.
Ooh.
So I was like, all right. So I had to like go to Walmart or something and like get a plunger. And I remember like I didn't fuck, dude, I was probably high or whatever. This is 20 plus years ago. And I'm asking like in broken Spanish, because this is when I was in Texas, like where's a plunger? And like the woman started laughing at me, and I was like, no, it's not for me. It's like blaming the plunger because it really wasn't my dump. And yeah, homie, I went to go take care of that
Wow.
business.
Yeah,
And
what a gentleman of you
bro,
to take care of it too.
dude, yeah, she was like passed out. She was like, I don't know, like took the life out of her taking that shit.
Her
But
energy.
oh yeah, dude. And she was not like a big girl either. But it was enough to wreck that. It was enough to wreck that commode. So yeah.
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, I had a friend, a girl that told me one time that she saw one of the largest shits she's ever seen in her life in a female bathroom. So I'm just saying, yeah, don't count them out, man. They got some Guinness World Record shits in there for
Dude,
sure.
every time my girlfriend and I go to the theme park and she'll like go to use the bathroom and she'll come out like the 1,000-yard stare.
Yeah,
Like she saw
white
her
as a
friend.
ghost.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, like the Ben's bathroom's not that bad. I was like, yeah, it's like smells
Oh
like pee, but
wow.
I mean, it's not that bad. I was like, I can only imagine what they must be going on in there.
It's a magical dump in the Disney parks. That's crazy. Next fact. So an ideal poop is a continuous log that stinks.
Oh my
So
god.
a continuous log that stinks. I don't know what the fuck this picture is. This looks like people standing next to one of Shaquille O'Neal's shits or something. This is insane. Thank you, AI producer, for grossing us out.
Why did they get dressed up?
Yeah, it's really
What?
weird. It's like the one guy's got like a
They have
dick
like
hanging off
dicks.
the front of
They
it. I
all
don't know
have
what's
dicks.
going on here. I don't know.
They
I don't,
all have dicks.
blame AI producer for that. That's pretty bizarre.
So crazy.
Again, ideal poop should come in the form of a continuous log or two with a diameter similar to that of a circle. Oh wow, it's getting very detailed. With a diameter similar to that of a circle, you can make with your index finger and thumb. Okay,
Oh, so
sure.
yeah, so you have to
That's pretty
okay. All right,
wild.
all right, all right.
And then it says, refer to the Bristol stool scale. We have a Bristol stool scale, so let's observe it. I love that there is such a thing like this where you can look at different kinds of duties. Now, the Bristol stool scale, for anyone that doesn't know, is referring to the chart that was created by two doctors, Stephen Lewis
Oh my
Ken
god.
Heaton, at Bristol Royal Infirmary in the UK. In one key study published in 1997, they had 66 adult volunteers keep diaries about how their poopies looked and how often they went. So thank you so much to the courageous men and women that gross us all out with this disgusting chart of different kinds. several types of poopies, as you can see here. We see the ideal poop looking like normal, like a smooth, soft sausage or snake. So that's where you should be. Everything else possibly worrying a little bit if you're pooping strange like that. I love this like rabbit poop stuff, type 1, separate hard lumps. I've never pooped Cocoa Puffs like that. That's pretty scary.
Oh man, dude, I am laughing. I'm looking at this, and I feel like everyone in their life has been this one has been who had type 1 through 7. I think everybody at some point in their
Yeah,
life
maybe.
like they may not live there in those types like consistently, but I think Lord knows, dude, it's a bad day when
Boy,
you're
6
7.
looks awful. I don't like the ragged edges thing. That looks painful.
The
That looks
terminology.
awful. Go to a hospital immediately if you have type 6.
Oh my god,
That is
ragged
night.
edges.
God, just the descriptor on it.
No.
Oh my god.
Inflammation, is that all?
Good lord, you are dying, sir. Okay, next fact. Did you know that you can see corn in your poop because of cellulose? Wow, what a fact. It says that the explanation for the widely observed corn kennel in poop phenomenon is pretty simple. The outside of the kernel of corn is made of cellulose. That's indigestible plant fiber. We can digest the inside of the kernel, but the hull makes it through unscathed. Everybody's gotten some corn in their poop. Everybody.
Everybody's probably been like too like, oh my god, what is, until you know, it's like they probably might be a little concerning, but it's like, oh yeah, I had corn. That's exactly what that is.
Has there ever been like a freak thing where there was no poop and just the
Just
kernels of
corn.
corn? And is that also not? See, that's not on the fucking Bristol stool
Okay,
chart.
yeah. Yeah, what type is
What
that?
the
Type
hell is
corn?
going on? I am just shitting kernels of corn.
Just
But
type corn.
yeah, it's always true. It's just it takes the journey. It comes through unscathed. Is right.
It's a tracer food. It's a tracer. It's a tracer round. You have to see where, like,
It is a tracer
and you
round.
ingested it, but then how long it takes
Yeah,
to leave.
that corn kernel has seen some shit, literally, and
Literally.
come out on the other side. Uh, Next fact is that people living in different parts of the world have different kinds of poop. Shocker. You can see, obviously, probably an Asian man, eating a healthy fish diet, some rice, some vegetables, and then a typical American there on the right. I would bet you, $10 you could walk into a bathroom and just take a sniff, and you could follow your nose to each of those stalls and know that's where the American took a shit. That's where
That's
the Asian man took a shit, because about Americans must have the most fucking foul dumps. We must be like number 1 in the world for that shit.
dude, I'm looking at this
Ugh.
image of homeboy looking just like he cannot wait to chow down on this like candy cane looking hot dog. Dude, I wonder if you could make a restaurant. It's like you just can order like the type of Bristol stool you're gonna end up with. Like, do you want a type 6?
That'd be
Do you want a number 7? Do you want a number
Great.
6? Do you want
Brilliant idea. Heard it here first on Anachronology, folks.
Listen, we only got 6s and 7s left. You want
Yeah.
ragged edges and you want all liquid.
Oh my god. So it just says that the feces of most people in the developing world are noticeably different from those of people eating a Western diet, mostly because the latter contains so much less fiber. The type eaten by many people in developing countries and by some vegetarians in the US leads to much denser and bulkier poops. There are bigger movements that come out more easily, and there's very little need to wipe. That's great. Hey, I mean, if there's I'm going to eat a diet where I'm not having to just bundle toilet paper up my butt for, a solid 5 minutes, that's great. But you can imagine the fucking murder scene nightmare that the guy on the right had to wipe after his dump. So
Gotta hose
horrific.
himself down. That's a shower
Horrific. That's a great case for a bidet, baby. Okay, we're almost toward the end here. Let's move on. Another fact is baby poop is weird. Baby poop. This is really creepy. The first few bowel movements of a newborn infant are called meconium. And if you've ever seen it before, I have not. It says it's pretty bizarre. It's the result of nutrients consumed by the infant inside the womb, and it's a dark green, tar-like substance. It looks so different from normal poop because of the sorts of things the baby was consuming in the uterus: amniotic fluid, blood, skin cells, and mucus. And it says, strangely, like this is a good thing, meconium is also usually odorless, and the baby's poop will not stay that way. Oh
Oh,
my God, I can't even imagine that diaper.
Dude, I would that's even, like, more unsettling, something coming out like that different from what like, being familiar with what human waste is supposed to
Alien-y.
look like, but it doesn't
Oh,
smell. Dude, you know how dude, what the fuck? You know that there was someone who was before this, I guess, information came public that it's usually odorless. Someone was probably like, "This came out of this, like, baby's ass, but I think it's shit, but it doesn't smell." You know, somebody got their nose, like, right up
right
into
up
some
in that shit.
euconium just to see what the hell was going on. Like, there is no way that kind of concoction does not have
Ugh.
an odor. There's no way.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, wow. Adorable and terrifying little fact there for babies.
Ugh.
Moving on, the phenomenon that poop transplants can be given. Absolutely bizarre. It might seem crazy, but research increasingly tells us that the most effective way to treat C. diff, the harmful bacteria that can proliferate in your intestines, is beneficial bacteria is by taking a healthy person's poop and putting it in your own GI tract. The formal name for it is a fecal transplant. This is becoming an increasingly mainstream procedure, and researchers are currently working on alternate methods of fecal transplant deliveries like frozen poop or pills that can be taken orally.
Lord.
Wowzers.
Just
And even more terrifying, here's a picture of one of the fucking poop pills.
oh my lord. So you
And
gotta eat shit. You
Sure,
literally have to
you
eat shit.
literally have to eat shit,
Oh
and
my
you talk
god.
about a hard pill to swallow. I mean,
Oh my
wow. I mean, sure. I mean, I guess what's weirder is saying like, okay, the doctor's going to go in and surgically insert a log of poop in your butt, or you're going to take poop pills.
oh god, you literally gotta eat
Choose the
shit.
form of your destructor, really.
Not too long ago, I was reading an article where a woman who her brother was the donor for a fecal transplant, and
Whoa.
she, I can't remember what if she was in her 30s or 40s, something like that, and I believe her brother was, right around her age, not too far on either side. The brother suffered from acne basically his whole life, and the sister who did not, after getting the fecal transplant from her brother, she started getting acne. So
Whoa.
there is definitely something to be said about the impact that the fecal transplants can have on not only like the gut biome, but I guess like how we're all connected. You know what I mean? Like our literally the body ourselves are from whether it's your skin to your shit maker, it is all like one big
Wow.
machine. So you can do something as seemingly as far away as the inside of your shit maker, then it'll affect your complexion.
I would
Right?
love to be like the brother of that woman, and then when she fucking starts with me, I'd be like, "You are so full of my shit."
Oh, then who's the one who wanted my shit? You said you wanted to eat my shit. I told you to eat my shit,
I
and you
saw you
did.
swallow those shit pills. All right, the last one is pretty
I
much
shit in your
is
mouth.
yeah, is pretty much the best one. That poop is a deadly
Oh
weapon
my
if
god,
need
shit
be.
knife.
This is insane. Yes, a shit knife, or what I like to call it, a doo doo
Voodoo
dagger.
dagger.
So I think that's probably a better term, is the doo-doo dagger. Yeah, so as proven by the Inuit people of North Canada in the 1950s, who fashioned a shit knife, and then this whole thing, I guess, apparently so amazing that this person talking about it gave a riveting 2007 TED Talk about it. The Inuits did not fear the cold. They took advantage of it. He simply, I guess referring to an Inuit man, he simply slipped outside, pulled down his sealskin trousers, and defecated into his hand. As the feces began to freeze, he shaped it into the form of a blade. Once the shit knife was sufficiently set, the man is said to have butchered a dog with it. He then, according to the TV series Canada, a People's History,
Most famous.
put
Yeah,
that on
right.
your DVR, everybody.
Put that on the flag.
Yeah,
Shit knife.
skinned the dog, used the skin to make a coat, its rib cage to make a sled, and fashioned a harness out of its guts. After feeding himself, the living dog, some of the dog's meat, the man attached the gut harness to the other dog, holstered the poop sword into his belt, and sled off into the night.
Oh
Therefore,
my,
making Canada baller as fuck.
oh
That
my
is insane. That's a crazy story. That they, I mean, he just was like, shit in my hand. I have a knife now. I just killed a wild animal with a shit knife.
I wonder, he must have been
Damn,
doing pretty good on the Bristol scale, whatever his Nanook of the North diet was consisting of in order for
damn.
him to
I was gonna
like,
say.
Dude, you know how in a in like a they're filming like blacksmithing or like pouring metal, it's like a mold. Like I'm surprised he didn't like mold like do some mold in the snow and like instead of in his hand, like he could have just done it into the fucking the snow and have
I'm
it
a
mold.
master shitsmither. Incredible. And
Holy
that's going to
Jesus.
round off Trust the Science,
Science, bro.
bruh. Poopology
Love it.
101. So there we go, folks. Done with category number 1, science. Had a segment in the mix. Let's jump over to a commercial break here with one of our sponsors. We'll come back with category 2 right after this break.
See you in a minute.
Yeah.